My beloved, my precious chosen one, I have called you by name into this sacred silence, because there is a truth your soul has been thirsting for, a truth that the shadows have desperately tried to keep from your ears. Can you feel the shift in the atmosphere, that restlessness you have felt lately, that sense of being watched or pursued? It is not what you think. Do not be deceived by the whispers of the night or the cold wind of anxiety that tries to settle in your chest. It is not you who should be afraid. As you listen to my voice right now, the very foundations of the darkness that has tried to surround you are beginning to crack and crumble. There is a trembling in the unseen realm, a frantic shiver running through the enemy of your soul, because he knows that in this moment you are about to discover the one thing he has spent lifetimes trying to hide from you. He is not afraid of your rituals or your hollow words. He is terrified of the awakening that is happening within your heart as my light pierces through your heavy weariness. This is not a coincidence that you are here. It is a divine appointment, a rescue mission for your spirit that was written in the stars before you were even born. Before I reveal the celestial key that will lock the lion's mouth and silence the accuser forever, I am calling you to step forward in a bold act of faith. Do not let this moment pass you by like a common sound or a fleeting thought. This is a gathering of the remnant, a roll call of my warriors who refuse to be defeated any longer. To signal your agreement with the heavens and to take your place in this divine formation, I ask you to press the like button and subscribe to this sanctuary of light right now. This is not about a simple click. It is about marking your presence in the ledger of the protected. By doing this, you are telling the spirit realm that you no longer belong to the shadows and that you are ready to be built into the unbreakable fortress I have designed you to be. Do it now as a signal to the gates of heaven that the chosen one is finally listening. Your soul is being prepared to receive an authority that will make the enemy regret ever mentioning your name. Join this family of believers and signal your alignment with my power, for the gates of hell shall not prevail against the revelation I am pouring into your life today. You have felt the weight of the battle, haven't you? You have felt as though you were being hunted, as if every step forward was met with 1,000 invisible hands pulling you back into the pit. But look closer, my child with the eyes of your spirit. Why would the enemy spend so much effort trying to discourage someone who has no power? He attacks you because he is terrified of the giant sleeping within you. He watches you pray, and he sees the fire starting to flicker, and it sends a wave of panic through his kingdom of lies. He does not fear your religion. He fears your realization of who I am in you. He cries out in agony when you realize that you are not the victim of your circumstances, but the victor of your destiny. He weeps when you stop begging for a miracle and start walking in the authority I have already given you. I have seen your tears in the dark, and I have heard the silent screams of your heart when you felt you couldn't go on. But I tell you now, the tables are turning. Before I unveil the secret action that makes Satan run screaming from your doorstep, I want you to open the gates of your heart and declare your presence before my throne. Type, "I am here, Lord," or 7007 in the comments right now, to open the gates of heaven and claim your seat at my table. Do not stay silent, for your voice is the sound of the enemy's absolute defeat. My beloved child, I have walked through the corridors of your heart, and I have seen the exhaustion that no amount of sleep can cure. I see you dragging your feet through the day, putting on a brave face for the world, while your soul feels like it is carrying a mountain. This fatigue you feel is not merely of the flesh. It is the weight of a spiritual battle you didn't even know you were fighting. I saw you this morning staring into the mirror, wondering where that spark in your eyes went, feeling as though the very essence of your joy has been siphoned away. by an invisible thief. You try to tell yourself it's just stress, it's just the world, it's just the season. But deep down, your spirit knows the truth. You are weary because you have been under a constant silent siege. I have seen the moments when you thought you were alone, when the mask finally slipped and the crushing weight of everything you are holding together for others finally settled on your own shoulders. I am here to tell you that I have seen every sigh, every unspoken plea for rest, and I am reaching out my hand to lift that burden from you right now. Do you remember the nights, my precious one, when sleep felt more like a battlefield than a sanctuary? I was there at 3 a.m. when your eyes flew open for no reason and the darkness in the room felt heavy, almost tangible, pressing down upon your chest. I saw the thoughts that raced through your mind, the sudden anxieties, the unexplained fears, the memories of past failures that seemed to whisper in the silence. This is the hour when the enemy tries to plant his seeds of doubt, hoping to catch you in the vulnerability of your exhaustion. I saw you tossing and turning, trying to find a comfortable position for your body, when it was actually your soul that couldn't find rest. You felt a presence of gloom, a shadow that told you that things would never change, that the struggle is your permanent home. But I was there in that room with you, standing between you and the shadow. I saw the tears you wiped away, so that no one would see them in the morning. I saw the way you clutched your pillow, praying for just a few minutes of peace. You are not losing your mind, and you are not weak. You are simply being targeted because of the immense light you carry. The pressure you feel at night is proof that the darkness knows its time is short. I see the invisible wounds you carry, the ones that don't bleed, but ache with a persistence that hollows out your spirit. There are scars on your heart from words spoken in malice, from betrayals you never saw coming, and from the cold silence of those who should have stood by you. I see how you have learned to hide these wounds, becoming a master of the "I'm fine" and the "I'm just tired." You carry the pain of being misunderstood, the sting of being judged by those who only see your surface, but never your struggle. I was there when your heart broke in secret, and I saw you gather the pieces with trembling hands, trying to glue them back together, so you could keep serving, keep giving, and keep loving. You feel as though you are breaking, but I tell you, you are becoming. These wounds are the places where my glory is about to shine through most brightly. I am the great physician, and I am touching those hidden places right now with a balm of pure love. I see the invisible weight on your neck and shoulders, the tension that never truly leaves, and I am commanding it to loosen. You do not have to be the strong one anymore. You do not have to carry the world. I am the one who holds the world, and I am holding you. My child, acknowledge this truth in your heart. You were never meant to fight this alone. The exhaustion you feel is the result of trying to use your human strength to fight a spiritual war. I have seen you trying to fix things that only I can mend, trying to open doors that only I have the key to, and trying to protect yourself with walls that only keep my peace out. I want you to take a deep breath right now and feel my presence surrounding you like a warm, protective cloak. The heaviness you have felt is being replaced by my light. The sleep that has escaped from you will return as a sweet, deep restoration. I am clearing the fog from your mind and the ache from your bones. You are being renewed, not because you have found the strength, but because you have finally allowed me to be your strength. Believe that the season of being crushed is over, and the season of being built is beginning. I see you, I know you, and I am healing you from the inside out. Have you noticed, my beloved, how lately the smallest things seem to conspire against you? It's not just one major event. It's a relentless succession of minor disasters that leave you breathless and frustrated. One day it's the car that won't start when you are already late the next. It's a sudden, unexpected bill that drains the little you had saved. You lose your keys, you drop your phone, or a simple conversation with a loved one turns into a bitter argument over absolutely nothing. You've started to ask yourself, what else could possibly go wrong? And you feel like a dark cloud is following you wherever you go, casting a shadow over every attempt you make to move forward. I want you to know that I have seen every one of these moments. I saw the look on your face when that hurtful email arrived, and I felt the sting of disappointment in your heart when your plans fell apart at the last minute. This is not just bad luck or a string of unfortunate coincidences. You are not cursed by fate, and you are not being punished by my hand. What you are experiencing is the arrow that flies by day, a calculated attempt by the shadows to wear down your spirit and steal your peace. Before you can reach the monumental breakthrough I have prepared for you. The enemy knows he cannot stop the destiny I have written for you with my own finger, so he resorts to harassment. He sends these tiny, stinging arrows of irritation and inconvenience to distract you, to make you irritable, and to force you to look at your problems instead of my promises. Every broken appliance, every rude comment from a stranger, every sudden delay is a tactic designed to make you say, I give up, or God has forgotten me. But I am here to tell you that I am your shield and your great reward. Even as those arrows are launched from the darkness, I am intercepting them. You only see the ones that graze you, but you have no idea how many thousands I have knocked out of the air before they could ever reach your heart. I am with you in the traffic jams. I am with you in the long bank lines. And I am with you when the person you trust most lets you down. These distractions are actually proof that you are close to a major shift in your spiritual reality. The enemy doesn't waste his arrows on those who are going nowhere. He fires them at the ones who are about to cross the finish line. Do not let these small fires consume your faith, for the fire I have placed within you is far greater than any fire the world can throw at you. I am teaching your hands to war and your fingers to fight, not with anger or human strength, but with a peace that surpasses all understanding. When the next arrow hits, when the car breaks or the money is short, I want you to smile, knowing that it is a sign of the enemy's sheer desperation. He is trying to get you to agree with the lack and the chaos, but you must choose to agree with me. And listen carefully now, my child, because this is where many of my chosen ones become confused. Not every inner discomfort is an attack, and not every sharp thought is my voice. There is a difference between conviction and condemnation, and the enemy will do everything he can to blur that line. Condemnation is an arrow dipped in poison. It does not correct you, it crushes you. It speaks in absolutes. You always fail. You'll never change. God is tired of you. Condemnation drags your face into the dust and tells you to stay there. It fills you with shame, makes you hide, and makes you believe you are disqualified. It does not lead you to me. It drives you away from me. That voice is not mine. But conviction is the gentle pressure of my spirit, not to shame you, but to save you. Conviction is precise, not cruel. It does not say you are worthless. It says, my child, this path will wound you, come back to me. Conviction does not push you into darkness. It turns your face toward light. It may sting for a moment, but it always carries hope in its hands. It is the loving alarm that wakes you before the fire spreads. It is not a courtroom sentence, it is a rescue. So when you feel that inner check, do not panic and assume you are condemned. Ask me, Father, is this you guiding me, or is this the enemy accusing me? I will answer you. My voice will never leave you hopeless. My correction will never strip you of your identity. When I convict you, I do it as a father, speaking to a son, a mother, speaking to a daughter, because you belong to me. The enemy accuses to paralyze you. I convict to restore you. I saw you when you sat in your car and cried out of pure frustration because everything felt like it was breaking at once. I saw you looking at your bank account with a heavy heart, wondering how the math was ever going to work out this month. I saw you holding your tongue when someone insulted you, even though every part of you wanted to scream. I want you to know that none of this is in vain. Every time you choose patience over rage, every time you choose trust over worry, you are winning a battle in the heavens that you cannot yet see. You are passing the discouragement test, my child. The pestilence that walks in darkness and the destruction that wastes at noonday have no legal right to your soul because you have made the Most High your dwelling place. I am surrounding you with favor as with a shield. In the coming days, you will notice a change. The things that used to rattle you will no longer have power over your emotions. The delays will turn into divine appointments. I am turning every arrow meant for your harm into a signpost, pointing toward your blessing. Rest in the knowledge that I am your rear guard, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. And as you begin to recognize the voice of accusation and refuse agreement with it, I will show you the next step, how to walk so clean, so steady, and so guarded that the enemy cannot find a foothold in your life. My precious child, I have watched you walk into rooms full of people and yet feel as though you were standing on a deserted island. I have seen you sitting at the family dinner table, listening to the laughter and the conversation, while a quiet voice in your heart whispered, "I don't belong here." I have seen you try to fit in, try to laugh at the same jokes, and try to care about the same superficial things, only to return home feeling more empty than when you left. You have wondered if there is something wrong with you, if you are too sensitive, or if you are simply unlovable. You see others forming bonds so easily, while you seem to be kept at a distance, often becoming the target of whispers or unexplained resentment. I saw the night you cried because you felt like a stranger in your own life, asking me why you have to walk this path so alone. I am here to tell you, my beloved, that this loneliness is not your prison. It is your preparation. You are not being rejected by people. You are being protected by me. I have purposely set you apart because the destination I am taking you to requires a spirit that is not contaminated by the opinions and limitations of others. This isolation you feel is the natural result of the light I have placed deep within your soul. You must understand that your presence acts as a mirror to those around you. When you walk into a room, the light of my spirit within you shines upon the hidden things in the hearts of others. Those who are comfortable in their darkness will always feel a strange subconscious irritation toward you. They may not even know why they dislike you or why they feel the need to exclude you. But it is because your purity exposes their compromise and your peace disturbs their chaos. Do not be offended by their distance. I am separating you from the crowd so that you can hear my whisper without the static of their doubt. I am pulling you away from the shallow waters so that I can take you into the deep mysteries of my kingdom. You are being hidden in my secret place. And though it feels lonely right now, it is only because I am refining you into a vessel of honor that cannot be influenced by the world's applause or its criticism. And this is what I mean when I call you a vessel of honor, my child. In a great house, there are many kinds of vessels. Some are made of wood and clay, common and easily stained, used for ordinary and messy things. But there are also vessels of gold and silver, set apart for the table of the king, purified and carefully handled, because they are precious and intended for noble use. I did not choose you to be a container for bitterness, envy, gossip, and hidden resentment, the cheap contents that rot the inside of a person while they smile on the outside. Those things belong to the vessels of wood and earth, the ones that are constantly tossed around, constantly cracked, constantly leaking peace. because they were never cleansed within. But you listen to me, you are not being isolated because you are broken. You are being separated because you are valuable. Gold must pass through fire. Silver must be refined. I am cleansing your inner world so you can carry greater weight without becoming contaminated. The reason you cannot stay comfortable in shallow conversations and toxic environments is because I am changing what you can hold. A vessel of gold cannot be filled with filth and remain honorable. That is why I have been teaching you to release what is unclean, to guard your spirit, and to refuse the low vibrations that once felt normal. The level of cleansing you allow is the level of assignment you can carry. The more you are purified, the more I can entrust you with, because what I place in you will not be wasted, spilled, or corrupted. I am preparing you to hold holy things and to pour them without mixture. So do not resent this season when you feel different. It is evidence that I am upgrading you. I am not taking people away to punish you. I am removing contamination to protect what I am forming in you. You are becoming the kind of vessel that can walk into any room and bring peace instead of absorbing poison. You are becoming the kind of vessel that can be blessed without becoming proud, honored without becoming arrogant, corrected without becoming offended, and elevated without losing your tenderness. Think of my servant Joseph, whom I love dearly. He was chosen for greatness, but that choice made him an outcast among his own flesh and blood. His brothers could not speak peaceably to him, not because Joseph was evil, but because the favor I placed upon him was more than their small hearts could handle. They hated him for his dreams and for the coat of many colors that signaled his distinction. I allowed him to be sold into slavery and cast into a lonely prison cell, not to punish him, but to isolate him from the voices that would have kept him from his throne in Egypt. If Joseph had stayed comfortable at home, he would have remained a simple shepherd. I had to let him experience the weight of loneliness so he would learn to lean only on me. Just like Joseph, you are in a season of divine separation. The people who are leaving your life or distancing themselves from you are doing so because they cannot go where I am about to take you. They are not equipped for the altitude of your destiny. I want you to do something very specific right now, a physical act to confirm this spiritual truth in your life. I want you to stop and place your hand upon your forehead. Close your eyes and breathe in. My peace. I want you to say these words out loud or in the silence of your heart. I am not alone. I am set apart. I am not rejected. I am protected. I am the chosen one, and I accept the path of the light. Feel the warmth of my hand resting upon yours. I am healing the sting of every exclusion and every cold shoulder you have ever received. I am filling that void in your chest with a divine companionship that no human being could ever provide. You are part of a royal lineage, a citizen of a kingdom that knows no end. From this moment on, when you feel the world pulling away, do not feel sadness. Feel the honor of being mine. You are being prepared to lead, and a leader must first learn to stand alone with their Creator. My beloved child, let us walk together through the inner courts of your soul, for I desire to teach you the sacred laws of spiritual boundaries. You have often wondered why, despite my promises of protection, the shadows still seem to find a way to whisper in your ear or disrupt your peace. You must understand that I have created you with a magnificent free will, a dignity that even I, your Creator, will not violate. Your life is like a majestic and fortified house built upon the rock, surrounded by my heavenly host. I have provided the walls of fire and the gates of iron, but I have entrusted the keys to you. You are the master of your own domain, and the spiritual realm operates on the principle of legal entry. The enemy is a defeated foe, a prowler, who knows he has no power to break down the walls I have built around you. However, he is a master of deception, looking for a legal right, a small opening, a forgotten latch, or a crack in the foundation that gives him permission to step onto your property. Imagine, my precious one, a house that is locked tight against a great storm. The owner has bolted the front door, shuttered the windows, and feels perfectly secure. But in the basement, there is a small ventilation grate left slightly ajar, or perhaps a back door that was closed but not truly locked. To the owner, the house seems impenetrable, but to the thief, the tiny opening is an invitation. This is the open door theory of the spirit. The enemy does not need a wide open gate to cause chaos. He only needs a foothold. He waits for the moment you allow an emotion or habit to step outside the circle of my light. When you give place to the shadows, you are essentially signing a contract that says, "You may enter here." I do not tell you this to make you afraid, but to empower you with the truth that makes you free. You have the authority to walk through every room of your life and decide what stays and what must go. The most common open door I see in the lives of my chosen ones is the heavy window of unforgiveness. When you hold on to a grudge, when you rehearse the pain of how you were wronged, you are keeping a spiritual door wide open. Bitterness is like a tether that connects you to the person who hurt you, allowing their darkness to flow directly into your sanctuary. I know the pain was real, and I saw the tears you shed when they betrayed you. But I tell you now, let it go. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. By refusing to forgive, you are giving the enemy a legal seat at your table, allowing him to feed on your resentment and poison your joy. I am standing here with the keys to your freedom, waiting for you to say, "I release them, and I close this door forever." As soon as you utter those words from your heart, the latch drops, the bolt slides home, and the enemy is cast out into the dark where he belongs. And this is why I gave you a sacred command, that many treat like a suggestion, but it is a shield for your soul. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. This is not merely emotional advice, it is spiritual warfare. When you carry anger into the night, you are not just carrying a feeling. You are carrying an open latch into the hours when your body sleeps and your mind is most vulnerable. Anger that is held overnight does not remain simple anger. In the darkness, it ferments into bitterness, and bitterness becomes a legal document the enemy loves to present. It is as if you leave your back door cracked open and then wonder why the atmosphere in the house feels heavy. My child, the sunset rule is how you close that door every single day, no matter what happened, no matter who provoked you, no matter how justified you feel. I am not telling you to pretend the offense did not happen. I am telling you not to let it become a resident. You may acknowledge the wound, but you must not let the wound become a throne where the enemy sits. The moment you choose to release it before sleep, you strip the shadows of their right to linger. You reclaim the night. So I want to give you a simple practice, an act of authority you can do at the edge of every day. Before you lay your head down, pause and say, "Father, I will not sleep with the door open." Then bring to me the name, the moment, the sentence, the look, the disrespect, whatever stirred your anger. Speak it honestly, and then release it deliberately. I forgive. I release. I cancel the right of this offense to live in me. Not because the offender is innocent, but because you are mine, and I will not have my child chained to yesterday. If an apology never comes, you still close the door. If justice is still unfolding, you still close the door. You do not forgive because the enemy deserves mercy. You forgive because the enemy deserves no access. And if your heart resists, do not be ashamed. Bring even that resistance to me. Say, Father, I am willing to be willing. Help my heart obey. That small surrender is powerful. It is the bolt sliding into place. It is the gate being sealed. This is why so many attacks happen at night, because the enemy knows what you carry to bed. But when you obey this rule, your sleep becomes guarded territory. The night becomes holy ground, and you will wake up lighter, clearer, and harder to manipulate. There are other doors, my child, that are left open in the quiet moments of your life. There is the door of fear, that lingering anxiety about the future that whispers, "What if?" until your heart is racing. Fear is the opposite of faith. It is a confession that the shadows are more powerful than my light. When you entertain fear, you invite the very thing you dread to take up residence in your mind. Then there is the door of secret compromise, those small habits or hidden thoughts that you think no one sees. You tell yourself they don't matter, but every time you choose a path away from my purity, you create a gap in your armor. I see these gaps not with the eyes of a judge, but with the heart of a father who wants to protect his child from the sting of the serpent. I am calling you today to a radical honesty. Look into the corners of your heart and ask me to show you where the latches are loose. Do not allow the enemy another moment of opportunity in your life. The word I have given you is clear. Do not give the devil a foothold. This means that you have the power to deny him access. If you have been living with a door ajar, if you have allowed anger to simmer until the sun went down, or if you have let shame tell you that you are not worthy of my protection, I am here to tell you that the blood of my Son is the ultimate seal. It cleanses every stain and repairs every crack. You do not have to live in a state of hypervigilance or paranoia. You simply need to live in alignment with my spirit. When you walk in my light, the doors of your soul are naturally shielded by the frequency of heaven. The enemy cannot tolerate the atmosphere of my presence. I want you to take a moment right now to perform a spiritual audit. Breathe deeply and let my light scan the rooms of your heart. Is there a door of grief that has become a door of despair? Is there a door of pride that refuses to ask for help? Whatever it is, I am here to help you close it. You are the porter of your own soul. You decide who enters and who is denied. From this moment forward, declare that your house is a house of prayer, a house of peace, and a house of absolute protection. Say it with authority. I close every door to the enemy. I retract every invitation I have ever given to the darkness. This house belongs to the living God. As you make this declaration, feel the spiritual atmosphere around you becoming solid, impenetrable, and holy. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are a gatekeeper of my glory. My precious child, we have reached the moment of revelation, the very secret that the kingdom of darkness has tried to bury under a mountain of religious noise and complicated rituals. You have seen others shouting at the shadows. Perhaps you have even tried to command the darkness to leave with every ounce of your human willpower, only to find yourself exhausted and the shadows still lingering at the edge of your vision. You have asked, why is my prayer not enough? Why does the enemy still feel so bold? The answer is not found in the volume of your voice or the repetition of your words. It is found in a twofold movement of the Spirit, a divine rhythm that most people ignore. They try to do the second part without ever touching the first. But today, I am pulling back the veil. The secret action that makes Satan weep in frustration and run screaming from your life is not just resistance. It is the holy alignment of submission and resistance. You must understand that in the spiritual realm, authority is not something you have on your own. It is something you carry because of who you are standing behind. To submit to me is not an act of weakness, as the world would have you believe. It is the highest form of spiritual strength. Imagine a soldier standing in the middle of a battlefield. On his own, he is a target limited by his own strength and his own small supply of ammunition. But when that soldier submits to the command of a great king, he no longer fights as a lone individual. He becomes an extension of the king's entire army. The king's resources become his resources. The king's armor becomes his shield. When you submit your will, your plans, your fears, and your very life to me, you are stepping under the shadow of my almighty wings. You are saying, Father, I am no longer in charge. You are. In that moment of total surrender, the enemy loses his grip on you because you have moved from your own territory into mine. You are no longer fighting for victory. You are fighting from a position of victory that I have already won. Submission is the act of putting on the uniform of heaven. The reason so many struggle is that they try to resist the devil while they are still resisting me. They want the enemy to leave their finances, their health, and their children, yet they keep their hearts locked away from my influence. They try to command the darkness to flee while they are still walking in the shadows of pride, hidden sin, or self-reliance. My child, the enemy, is a legalist. He knows when you are standing in your own authority, and he laughs at it. But when he sees a soul that is fully submitted to me, a soul that says, your will be done, and truly means it, he cowers in absolute terror. Why? Because when you are submitted to me, it is no longer your voice he hears. It is mine. When you resist him after you have submitted to me, it is as if I am the one standing in front of him. This is why the promise says, submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. The flight of the enemy is the direct result of your submission to me. And I will show you this principle through a living example so you never forget it. Look at Rahab, my child. The world labeled her by her past and tried to lock her identity inside a single word. She lived in a city under judgment, surrounded by walls that looked unbreakable. And she had every reason to believe her story would end in destruction. But Rahab did something that changed everything. She submitted to the truth she had heard about me. And she aligned herself with my purpose, even before she understood all the details. She did not bargain with her fear, she bowed her heart to me. Rahab's protection did not come because she shouted louder than anyone else in Jericho. It came because she made a decision of faith that produced an action of obedience. She welcomed the messengers I sent. She chose the side of the living God, and she trusted my word over her environment. And then, as a sign, she was told to place a scarlet cord in her window. Do you see it? My child, Jericho was full of windows, full of doors, full of people. But only one house was marked by obedience and alignment. That scarlet cord was not magic. It was agreement. It was a visible declaration that said, this house is under covenant. This house belongs to the God of Israel. And when the walls came down, Rahab's house did not collapse with the rest because she was no longer standing in Jericho's authority. She had stepped into mine. This is what submission does. It moves you under my covering. It changes the legal jurisdiction over your life. Rahab's past could not disqualify her because faith rewrote her future. In a single act of alignment, the one who had been rejected became protected. The one who had been shamed became part of a holy bloodline. I did not just save her from destruction, I brought her into destiny. I took the one society called unworthy and placed her into a lineage of honor, proving forever that when a heart submits to me, I am not constrained by history. I am the God who redeems it. When you submit, you become fireproof. The enemy may throw his best shots, he may send his most cunning spirits of discouragement, but they find nothing in you to grab onto. Your submission creates a spiritual friction that burns his fingers. When you finally say, "Lord, I give you this problem, I give you this pain, I give you my future," you are handing me the legal right to intervene on your behalf. You take your hands off, and I put my hands on. And when I put my hands on a situation, the enemy knows he is lost. He cries out because he can no longer manipulate you through your worry or control you through your fear. Your peace becomes a weapon that destroys his schemes. Your silence becomes a frequency that jams his radar. By simply bowing your heart to me, you are dealing a lethal blow to the kingdom of darkness. Now listen closely to the second part of this secret. Once you have submitted, you must resist. You do not ask the devil to leave. You command him. You do not negotiate with a thief who is in your house. You cast him out. With the authority of a submitted heart, you look at the spirit of lack and say no. You look at the spirit of heaviness and say, "I refuse you." You look at the sickness and the generational patterns and you declare, "You have no place here because you are submitted to me." Your no carries the weight of the creator of the universe. The enemy will try to test your resolve. He will whisper, "Is it really true? Are you really protected?" But you must stand firm. Resistance is not a one-time event. It is a lifestyle of standing in the truth. When you stand fully submitted and firmly resisting, the enemy has no choice. He cannot stay in the presence of my glory reflected in you. He must flee, not just walk away, but run in terror from the light that you have become. My beloved, I want to teach you about a weapon that feels like weakness to the world, but acts as a devastating blow in the spiritual realm. It is the weapon of silence. I have watched you in your moments of distress, when the pressure mounts and the arrows of the enemy fly thick and fast. Your first human instinct is to speak, to vent your frustration, to complain about the unfairness of your situation, and to tell everyone who will listen just how big your mountain has become. But listen to my whisper. Every time you complain, you are magnifying the problem. Your words are like seeds, and when you speak of your lack, your pain, and your fear, you are watering the very weeds I am trying to uproot from your life. When you complain, you are inadvertently giving a testimony for the shadows. You are praising the problem instead of the provider. I am calling you to a higher level of spiritual warfare today. I am calling you to zip it. Don't dig up the seeds of faith I have planted in your heart by speaking negative words over your own life. When the storm rages, the most powerful thing you can do is hold your peace and let your silence be your shield. There is a divine mystery in your stillness that the enemy cannot comprehend. When the darkness attacks, it is looking for a reaction. The enemy uses his tactics to bait you into anger, worry, or despair, because your negative emotional response is the legal fuel he needs to keep the fire of chaos burning in your life. He tracks your location in the spirit through the frequency of your complaints. But when you choose to be silent, when you choose to look at the chaos and say nothing, but instead lift your heart in quiet praise, you effectively jam his spiritual radar. He cannot find a soul that is anchored in my peace. He expects you to crumble. He expects you to cry out in defeat. But when he finds only a deep, resolute silence, he becomes confused and paralyzed. Your silence is a declaration that you trust my timing more than your own eyes. It is a posture that says, I do not need to defend myself because my defender is already on the move. This is not the silence of a victim who has given up. It is the silence of a victor who knows the battle is already won in the heavens. And hear this, my child, silence is not emptiness. Silence is separation. It is the spiritual act of stepping out of the crowd, stepping out of the noise, and refusing to let the chaos press its body against your spirit. Many blessings I have already released toward you are not being withheld by my hand. They are being drowned out by the static you keep agreeing with. You have been trying to receive my provision while standing in the middle of a battlefield of opinions, distractions, and toxic frequencies. But I am calling you to create holy distance, because what you are about to receive requires a clear lane. Let me show you what this looks like in a way you can feel. Imagine me as the quarterback holding a blessing in my hand, an answer, an opportunity, a connection, a breakthrough timed perfectly for your life. I am ready to throw it to you. But the enemy knows he cannot stop what I release, so he does the only thing he can. He crowds you. He sends defenders of distraction, fear, outrage, gossip, needless arguments, endless scrolling. The urge to explain yourself, the compulsion to fight every battle out loud. They do not have to tackle you to win. They only have to stay close enough to keep you from seeing the ball close enough to make you stumble close enough to steal your focus. That is why you feel spiritually smothered, not because you are weak, but because the enemy has been trained to play tight coverage against the chosen. So what must you do? My beloved, you must create separation. A receiver does not catch a life-changing pass while surrounded by defenders. He breaks away. He cuts away. He runs a clean route and finds open space. In the same way, I am teaching you to stop trying to receive me while you are still letting the noise breathe on your neck. Silence is how you break free from the coverage. Silence is how you step into open field. Silence is how you make room for the blessing to land in your hands. When you stop arguing with the storm, you start seeing the ball. When you stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you, you start hearing my directions with clarity. When you stop feeding the fires of chaos with your words, you step into position to receive what I have already thrown. Remember what I told my people when they were trapped between the iron chariots of Egypt and the deep, impassable waters of the Red Sea. They were terrified, screaming out in their fear, wishing they had stayed in slavery rather than die in the desert. But the word I gave them through my servant was simple and firm. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. I did not ask them to pick up swords. I asked them to be quiet. Why? Because their words of fear were blocking the miracle I was about to perform. When you are still and silent, you create the sacred space necessary for my spirit to move. You stop trying to manipulate the outcome with your own limited strength, and you finally allow my infinite power to flow through the situation. I am fighting for you right now in the boardrooms where your name is being mentioned in the hearts of those who seek to harm you, and in the unseen realm where your blessing is being forged in the fire. If you could see what I am doing behind the scenes, you would never utter another word of worry. You would simply be still and watch the salvation I am bringing to your house. I want you to practice this weapon of silence in your daily walk from this moment forward. When someone insults you or tries to provoke you, choose the weapon of silence. When a bill comes that you cannot pay, or a doctor's report brings news you didn't want to hear, choose the weapon of silence first, and then whisper a prayer of radical gratitude that I am your provider and your healer. Your silence is an invitation for my glory to manifest in ways you never expected. It is the posture of the yielded where you step out of the driver's seat of your life and let my Holy Spirit take control of the wheel. You may feel like you are losing control, but in reality, you are finally letting go of the illusion of control so that the Almighty can take over. The world will not understand your calm in the midst of the storm. They will wonder how you can smile when everything seems to be falling apart. You can smile because you know a secret that they don't. And the trouble is not there to stop you. It is there to push you forward into a new level of your destiny. Rest now, my child, in the quietness of my love for your silence is your strength, and your separation is the space where my blessing finds you. My precious one, I am calling you into a deeper revelation of my protective nature. You have often felt exposed, as if the storms of life could reach you at any moment. But I am here to declare a prophetic truth over your life. I am establishing a hedge of fire around you. This is not a wall made of stone or wood that can be broken or decayed. It is a celestial barrier of my very essence. I am a wall of fire around you, and I am the glory in your midst. This fire does not consume you, my child. It consumes everything that tries to come against you. For too long, you have felt like a city without walls, vulnerable to every passing thought of fear and every scheme of the adversary. But today, I am activating a divine perimeter that the kingdom of darkness cannot cross. I am drawing a line in the spiritual sand, and I am telling the devouring lion, this far, you may come, but no farther. You are entering a season where you are not just protected, you are untouchable. I want you to visualize the spiritual reality that is currently surrounding your home. I see the arrows of lack, the arrows of sickness, and the arrows of confusion being launched from the shadows. To your human eyes, these attacks seem threatening. But as they approach the border of my fire that surrounds you, they do not just fall, they incinerate. They turn to ash before they can even touch the atmosphere of your peace. I am burning up the cords of the wicked and melting the chains of generational bondage. The very fire that protects you is the same fire that is refining your character and preparing you for the weight of the blessing that is coming. When the enemy looks at you now, he no longer sees a target. He sees a consuming fire. He sees the light of the Most High radiating from your spirit, and he is forced to retreat. This is why you must not fear the noise of the battle, for the fire is doing its work in the silence. I see those who have conspired in secret to cause you harm. I see the words spoken in hidden corners and the traps laid beneath your feet. But I tell you this day, because I have established this hedge of fire, they shall stumble and fall at their own threshold. They will look for you and find only my presence. They will try to find a way to hinder your progress, but every path they take will lead to a dead end of my design. I am causing your enemies to be at peace with you, or I am removing them from your sight entirely. You will watch as the schemes that were meant to destroy you are turned into the very platforms that elevate you. This protection is absolute, because it is not based on your perfection, but on my promise. You are the apple of my eye, and whoever touches you touches the very center of my heart. I am your shield, your fortress, and your exceedingly great reward. Do not be deceived by the reports of the world or the whispers of your own doubt that tell you that you are vulnerable. You are cloaked in the majesty of the Creator. This hedge of fire is around your children, your finances, your health, and your very mind. Even when you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you shall fear no evil, for my fire is lighting your way and keeping the shadows at bay. This is a divine shielding that I am strengthening in your inner life. The more you trust me, the brighter this fire burns. The more you rest in my word, the more impenetrable this wall becomes. I am making you fireproof, training you to stand in the heat of the battle without being singed. You are coming out of this hidden season smelling like heaven, not like the smoke of the furnace. So receive this truth in quiet confidence. My child, you are not exposed, you are covered. And as you keep walking in alignment with me, you will discover that what once frightened you can no longer reach you because my fire goes before you, and my glory stands as your rear guard. My precious one, I have seen the ashes of the things you thought would last forever. I saw you sitting in the rubble of your dreams, much like my servant Job, wondering if the sun would ever rise on your life again. You have lost years to grief resources, to injustice and energy, to a battle that seemed never-ending. I know the exact count of everything that was taken from you, the relationships that withered, the opportunities that were stolen by the deceit of others, and the peace that was eroded by constant worry. I tell you today, do not mourn for what is gone, for I am the God of the resurrection. I did not allow those things to be stripped away to leave you empty. I allowed the old to fall so that I could build something eternal in its place. Your season of losing is being swallowed up by my season of restoring. I am the God who makes a way where there is no way, and I am rewriting the end of your story with strokes of gold. Listen to my decree. I am the one who restores the years that the swarming locusts have eaten. I am commanding the thief to return sevenfold what was taken in the dark. You may have entered this season with tears, but you are about to emerge with a harvest that will make your past sorrows look like a distant memory. I am bringing back the money that was drained by unforeseen circumstances. I am opening the storehouses of heaven to pour out a blessing so large that you will not have room to contain it. This is your double portion moment. Just as I gave Job twice as much as he had, before I am preparing a compensation package for your soul that will vindicate every silent tear you shed. The world saw your struggle, but they are about to see my splendor. I am not a God who forgets his promises. I am the God who fulfills them with interest. It is not just your finances and your possessions that I am restoring. I am reaching into the very marrow of your bones to restore your strength. I see the toll the stress has taken on your body, the way your vitality has been drained by the weight you carried. I am speaking life into every cell, renewing your youth like the eagles. You will not emerge from this trial looking like what you've been through. I am washing away the exhaustion and replacing it with a divine energy that will cause you to run and not grow weary. Your health is being reconstructed under the touch of my hand. The sleep that was stolen will become sweet, and the joy that felt like a foreign language will once again become your native tongue. I am making all things new, and I am starting with a heart that beats inside your chest. The scars you carry will no longer be marks of pain, but medals of honor and healing. You have passed the test of faithfulness in the midst of lack. You did not curse me when the cupboards were bare, and you did not turn away when the path became narrow. Because you stood firm, I am now releasing the job restoration into your life. This is not a reward for your perfection, but a manifestation of my character as your father. I take pleasure in the prosperity of my children. Prepare your heart for sudden shifts. Doors that have been rusted shut for years will swing open on silent hinges. People who forgot your name will suddenly feel a divine urge to favor you. The very ground you walk on will begin to yield fruit again. You are moving from the wilderness of not enough into the promised land of more than enough. Your latter days will be significantly more glorious than your former days, and the peace I give you will be the foundation of your new house. I want you to walk with a new posture, my child. Stop looking at the ground in shame and lift your eyes to the horizon. Your vindication does not come from man, it comes from me. I am the one who settles the accounts. I am the one who makes the crooked places straight. Every year of pain is being converted into a year of power. Every moment of loneliness is being turned into a testimony of my presence. You are not just surviving. You are being set up for a level of influence and abundance you never dared to dream of. The double is on its way. Hold on to my hand, for we are walking out of the ruins and into the palace of your destiny. I am restoring your dignity, your reputation, and your peace of mind. The enemy thought he had finished you, but he was only helping me prepare you for a throne. It is done, and it is beautiful in my sight. My precious child, as I am restoring your spirit and your strength, I must now perform a delicate and necessary surgery upon your social circle. I have seen the shadows that linger in the smiles of those you call friends. I have heard the whispers behind your back and seen the subtle seeds of envy being planted by those who eat at your table. You have wondered why certain relationships feel like a heavy weight around your neck, or why you feel drained of energy every time you spend time with certain people. I tell you today, I am initiating a divine detox in your life. In the next 7 days, you will notice a shifting in your atmosphere. Do not be alarmed when certain people suddenly distance themselves from you, or when a hidden truth about someone's character is unexpectedly revealed. I am removing the Judas figures from your life, not to cause you pain, but to protect the miracle I am growing within you. I am cutting the cords that connect you to people whose hidden agendas would only hinder your progress. You must understand, my beloved, that because I have placed a hedge of fire around you, the enemy cannot touch you directly. Since he cannot strike you from the outside, he seeks to influence you through the voices of those closest to you. He uses the jealousy of a sibling, the resentment of a coworker, or the betrayal of a trusted friend to try and penetrate your peace. I saw the blade they held behind their back while they greeted you with a kiss. I saw the way they secretly celebrated when you stumbled, and the way they tried to dim your light so their own shadows wouldn't be so obvious. I am pulling back the curtain now. I am clearing the path so that you are surrounded only by those who can handle the weight of your glory. If they cannot celebrate your blessing, they have no business being in your presence. I am cleaning your guest list to ensure that your inner circle reflects the purity of my kingdom. I know it hurts when people you love walk away. I saw you trying to hold on to the fraying threads of relationships that had already died long ago. You felt that if you were just kinder or more patient or more giving, you could fix them. But I am here to tell you some people are not meant to go where I am taking you. They are the scaffolding that was necessary for a season of your construction, but now that the building is rising, the scaffolding must be removed. Do not chase after those I am removing. Do not beg for the attention of those who have been blinded to your value. Every vacancy I create in your life is a space I am preparing to fill with something and someone far better. I am bringing divine alignments into your path, people, who will sharpen you, protect you, and love you with the unconditional love I have placed in them. The detox is painful, but the health it brings is eternal. If you trust me to handle your heart and to filter your relationships, then I want you to make a bold declaration of faith right now. Do not let the fear of being alone keep you in the company of those who drain your soul. If you are ready for a clean slate and for the divine connections I have prepared for you, join this family of light. Press the like button and subscribe to this channel right now to signify your agreement with this spiritual cleansing. This is your signal to the heavens that you are ready to let go of the toxic and embrace the holy. By doing this, you are inviting my Holy Spirit to be the gatekeeper of your heart. Subscribe now and watch how I transform your social landscape, replacing the Judas with the Barnabas, the sons and daughters of encouragement, who will walk with you into your promised land. As these people leave, do not allow bitterness to take up the space they left behind. Forgive them, not for their sake, but so that your heart remains a fertile ground for my blessings. I am healing the wounds of betrayal and the sting of being left out. I am your best friend, the one who sticks closer than a brother, and I will never leave you nor forsake you. In the coming days, you will feel a new sense of lightness. The fog of confusion caused by the opinions of others will dissipate, and you will hear my voice with a clarity you have never known. I am protecting you from the traps you didn't see and the plots you couldn't have imagined. You are safe in my hands, and the family I am building around you will be a fortress of love. The detox is nearly complete, and your new season of authentic connection is beginning. My chosen one, the refining fire, has done its work, and the season of being hidden is drawing to a close. As I have cleared the path and removed the shadows from your life, I am now pouring a new oil over your head, an anointing that will change the very way you walk, talk, and breathe. This is the untouchable anointing, a divine marking that signals to both the visible and invisible worlds that you belong to the King of Kings. You have spent so long feeling small, feeling like a target, and feeling as though you had to defend yourself against every whisper and every arrow. But look at yourself through my eyes now. I am straightening your spine and lifting your chin. You are no longer the one running from the shadows. You are the one the shadows are running from. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere will no longer dictate your mood. Your presence will dictate the atmosphere. The heavy oil of my favor is saturating your spirit, and it is making you slippery to the grip of the enemy. Nothing he tries to attach to you will stick, for you are covered in the glory of the Most High. I see the shift that is occurring in your physical world as this anointing takes hold. You will notice that those who once looked at you with contempt will now look at you with a strange, unexplained sense of awe or even fear. It is not you they are afraid of, but the weight of the authority you now carry. Even the fierce dog that used to bark as you passed will now lower its head in silence, sensing the spiritual fire that surrounds you. People who used to overlook you will suddenly find themselves compelled to listen when you speak. This is the mark of the chosen. I am giving you a divine bearing that commands respect without you ever having to say a word. You will move with the quiet confidence of a lion who knows there is no predator in the jungle that can challenge his reign. Your words will carry a weight they never had before, for they are no longer just your words. They are echoes of my truth. The days of you being bullied, ignored, or cast aside are over. You are being established as a pillar of strength in a world of shifting sand. I want you to hear this decree deep in your spirit, for it is the foundational promise of this new season. No weapon forged against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment, you shall condemn. This is not just a poetic thought. It is a legal reality in the heavens. The enemy may still manufacture weapons, he may still craft schemes, and he may still sharpen his arrows, but the moment they enter the radius of your anointing, they will lose their power. They will crumble like brittle glass against a diamond. You are fireproof, you are arrow-proof, and you are gossip-proof. When people speak evil of you, the words will fall to the ground before they can ever reach my ears or your heart. I am your vindicator. I am the one who settles the score. You do not need to fight for your reputation or struggle for your place at the table, for I have already carved your name into the wood of the throne. You are untouchable because you are hidden within me, and to touch you, the enemy would have to go through me first. As you step out into this new day, I want you to shed the skin of the victim. The inner victim who is always worried about the next attack, the next betrayal, or the next loss is being buried forever. In its place, I am birthing the victor. A victor does not look for a fight, but a victor never fears one. You will begin to solve problems that used to paralyze you. You will face giants that used to make you hide, and you will find that they are much smaller than they appeared from a distance. The pressure that used to weaken you is now being turned into power. This is the secret of the chosen ones. The very things the enemy meant for your destruction have become the raw materials for your promotion. You are emerging from the furnace not just alive, but refined, strengthened, and ready for the assignments I have for you. The weight of the blessing I am placing on your shoulders is heavy, but I have spent this season strengthening your character so you can carry it with ease. You are ready. I want you to take a moment and feel this anointing settling upon you right now. It feels like a warm glow starting at the crown of your head and flowing down to the soles of your feet. It is a shield that you wear from the inside out. Do not let the enemy tell you that you are still the same broken person you were a year ago or even a day ago. You are a new creation sealed with a holy seal that cannot be broken. Walk with your head held high, not in pride, but in the humble certainty that your Father is the King of the universe. Everything you touch will begin to prosper because of the oil on your hands. Everywhere you go will be blessed because of the light in your feet. You are my representative on this earth, and I have equipped you with everything you need to succeed. The battle is over, and the victory is not just yours, it is your permanent state of being. You are untouchable, you are favored, and you are dearly loved. My child, I invite you now into the most sacred moment of our time together. I want you to find a place of total stillness where the noise of the world fades into the background and only my voice remains. This is not just a prayer. It is a spiritual sealing, a deep cleansing that reaches into the very atoms of your being. Take a deep breath and let the tension drain from your neck, your shoulders, and your heart. I want you to close your eyes right now and shut out the physical world. Do not look at the distractions around you, but look within to the secret place where my spirit dwells. Imagine in the quiet of your soul a river of pure life-giving light, the precious blood that was shed for your total liberation. I am applying this blood to your mind right now. Every intrusive thought, every recurring nightmare, every voice of shame that has tried to build a nest in your head is being washed away. The blood is clearing the fog, silencing the accuser, and restoring the clarity of your purpose. Your mind is no longer a playground for the enemy. It is a sanctuary of my peace. Now, my beloved, expand your vision beyond yourself. See your home, the place where you sleep and where your loved ones gather. I want you to imagine a deep crimson light flowing over the doorposts and the windows of your house. Just as it was in the days of old when the destroyer passed over the houses marked by the Lamb, I am marking your territory today. I am covering your children as they sleep. I am covering your spouse. I am covering every corner where fear once hid. This blood is an impenetrable barrier that the darkness cannot see through and cannot cross. Any spirit of sickness, any spirit of strife, or any spirit of lack that tries to approach your home will see the seal of the King and will be forced to flee. Your household is now under the jurisdiction of heaven. Peace is within your walls, and prosperity is within your gates. You can rest tonight in absolute safety, knowing that the watchmen of the Most High are stationed at every entrance. Your family is protected, your legacy is secure, and your home is a fortress of light that the darkness cannot comprehend. Finally, I am pouring this life-giving blood over your hands, your work, and the path that lies before you. Every financial drain, every hole in the pocket caused by spiritual theft is being sealed shut this very moment. I am covering your career, your business, and every seed you have sown in faith. The blood is speaking a better word over your future than the world ever could. It is speaking provision where there was lack, It is speaking restoration where there was loss. Feel the weight of the old burdens falling off as the blood flows over you, washing away the scent of the furnace and the dust of the wilderness. You are being consecrated for a high calling, separated from the common and the mundane. As you breathe out, release the last remnants of your worry. As you breathe in, receive the fullness of my life. The battle is over and the seal is set. You are bought with a price, and you are precious in my sight. No shadow can remain where this blood is applied. You are clean, you are whole, and you are eternally protected. This is my covenant with you, and it shall never be broken. My child, hear my voice one last time in this sacred space. The silence that now surrounds you is not empty. It is full of my power and my presence. I tell you the truth the moment you clicked on this message and allowed my words to penetrate your heart. The kingdom of darkness suffered a catastrophic defeat in your life. The chains that were once tight have been shattered. The shadows that used to haunt your peripheral vision have been incinerated by the hedge of fire we have built together. Satan and his legions have lost their legal right to your peace, your health, and your household. You are no longer the prey. You have become the predator. You are walking out of this moment as a different person than the one who entered it. The weariness is gone, replaced by a divine authority that will make the enemy tremble every time you speak my name. You are safe. You are chosen. You are sealed. Now, before you go back into the world, we must place the final seal upon this divine prophecy to ensure that no thief can steal what has been planted in your soul. I want you to make your final declaration of victory. This is the moment to lock this blessing into your physical reality forever. Go to the comments right now and type Amen or It is done to anchor these promises into your life. By doing this, you are not just typing words. You are slamming the doors shut on the enemy's face and turning the key. You are claiming the job restoration, the relationship detox, and the untouchable anointing as your own permanent inheritance. Do not remain silent at the finish line. Seal it now, for what I have blessed no man and no demon can ever curse. It is finished and it is glorious. But listen closely, for our journey does not end here. This has been a season of defense, a time to build your walls and heal your wounds. But tomorrow, I'm going to teach you something even more powerful. I am going to teach you how to go on the offensive. I will show you how to march into the enemy's camp and take back every single thing that was ever stolen from your ancestors and your own life. You are being promoted from a protected citizen to a high-ranking commander in my army of light. To ensure you do not miss this next level of your training, I invite you one last time to press the like button and subscribe to this channel. Stay connected to this source of holy frequency, for I have much more to reveal to you. Join this global family of warriors and let us push back the darkness until the whole earth is filled with my glory. You can rest now, my precious one. The battle for your soul has been won, and the morning will bring a brand new light. Lay your head down in perfect peace, knowing that I am standing watch over you. No weapon, no plague, and no arrow can reach you in the secret place of the Most High. The struggle is over, and your new life has begun. Tomorrow we rise to conquer, but tonight you simply need to be my child. I love you with an everlasting love, and I will never let you go. Sleep in the arms of your Father, for you are finally home. It is done. Amen.